Hi, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I always look forward to our Tuesday shows together. How is everyone doing? All right. Get some questions started. I'll be reading on political and current event questions. I'm going to do it a little bit differently today. If I see a good question, I'm going to get it started. Um, but if not, I'm going to try to keep up with the chat. So I'm not spending hopefully so much time back and forth. All right. 100 people watching already. Hello, everyone. So before we get started, let me just make a couple announcements. So Mel is on vacation this week, so we will not be doing our Thursday night show. I was supposed to have a show tomorrow, but the person I was supposed to work with has COVID, so sending her a lot of healing energy, and we'll reschedule that soon. If we get any big breaking news this week, I'll try my best to come on, but I have a bit of a busy week, um, so we'll see. So, just a couple of announcements. Just a reminder for our members next Monday, March 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be doing our mini personal readings. Anybody's interested in joining the membership, um, I have that information all on my YouTube channel. Please consider joining us. If you can't afford it, or you want to try it for a month, you can always cancel that subscription. But it's always nice to get together with everyone and um, do a little bit of extra stuff. Well, thank you, Tara Lynn. So next Monday we'll be doing that. Um, oh, I did hit 12,000 subscribers, so thank you everyone for helping me hit that goal. I'm going to keep the contest running an extra week. So I'll announce the winners for the free reading and free Reiki session two Tuesday shows from now. But how you would enter that is on the video after this wraps. You can't do it in the chat. You have to comment on the video. Start your words with reading or Reiki, depending on what category you'd like to be entered into. And then in a couple weeks, I'll use a random word generator app and the um, pick the two winners for a free reading and a free Reiki session with myself. Thank you, L Joy. It's crazy. I haven't even done readings for all the people that won the last time. So yeah, everything's growing really fast, but which is wonderful. So thank you all so much for that. And I'll make another announcement towards the end just to remind everybody. I think besides that, if anybody's interested in a reading or a Reiki session, or I do a combination of both, if you're interested, send me an email at kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com. Should have a website built up in the next week, which I'll announce when I have that up and running. But you send me an email for right now. Information's in the description box. I am booking out until early April, but yeah, I'd be happy to set something up if you're interested. All right, Singing Tree Cut Alive. Well, I'm so glad that you could join us. All right, let's see. Let me get some questions started. I haven't been on since Biden's State of the Union address, which was amazing. I told you I felt this really fiery energy coming in, and Dark Brandon delivered for sure. I think my favorite part was when he really stuck it to the Supreme Court on Roe v. Wade, right to their faces. But yeah, he did great. He did great. And I think it's really the start of a lot of this momentum building up for Biden. I think it was overall viewed very favorably. All right. Yes, we'll take a look at Ken Buck. I did just hear that. Told you they're going to start dropping like flies, didn't I? I said it a while ago. GOP now has one vote over Dems. Wow. All right. Yeah, Biden did great at the State of the Union. All right, you guys. So CJ says, woohoo, Ken Buck is leaving next week. right? It's a shame because I'm not really all that familiar with Ken Buck, but I know that he is one of the few moderate Republicans in the House. But isn't that the seat that MTG is running for? I don't think she'll win the primary. All right, just going to throw a couple cards for Ken Buck. Oh, it's interesting. I don't know. I don't think he's done with politics though, so maybe that's other runs. But I see him. He's got the Ace of Pentacles, which could be a new offering coming in for a job. But him really standing up, and I think his conscience with where the Republicans in the House are. I do see him standing up and speaking the truth. But here's the resignation, walking away. Maybe he's tired of having to defend himself too. But he's got he's got a good future here. I mean, hopes and dreams fulfilled, moving on victoriously. I think he's looking for to brainstorm, to figure out other options for his future. But like I said before, I don't see MTG winning that seat. So, hey, Selma. But what is it, 1 or 2 seat majority now for Republicans? So it's, like I said, they're dropping like flies, aren't they? Yeah, he was a better Republican. I agree. I watched part of the special counsel hearing. I couldn't stomach to watch too much of it. Boebert, thank you, Serena. That's who I meant. You knew who I meant. Boebert. Yeah, I don't see Boebert winning her seat. I do think MTG may win her seat for re-election, but I think her legal issues will be coming up maybe more into the next term, and her having to resign from that. Oh, I could see that, Jewel. Buck and Cheney forming a new party. Absolutely. I got a resounding yes for that. Like I said, I don't feel like he's done with politics, but maybe it's, cutting the cancer out of the Republican Party and starting over. And I see Liz Cheney, if you've been following me for a while, I've said that for probably the last year, that she will be rebuilding the Republican Party. And it will be a better party. Not saying that we're going to get, that we're going to agree with them, but I do see them coming more towards the middle and actually working on bipartisanship and kind of getting all this ugly rhetoric and craziness out of their party. Oh, Sherry's getting the same for Ken Buck. All right. Pam. Yeah, I couldn't stomach. Yeah, Kissinger will be in there too. Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel actually more energy, and not saying that Kissinger won't be a part of it, but really around Cheney and Buck. All right. This is a good question. Sweetie Darling Lulu says, why did Special Counsel Robert Hur really resign? I did see a clip on Midas Touch of Swalwell really ripping into her and owning him. Something about, he didn't include it in his report, but that when he was talking and interviewing Biden, that he was saying, "Oh, wow, you have like a photographic memory," or something along the lines of that. But then in his report, he says he's senile and old, and not all there. So, all right. Why did Robert Hurley resign? Oh, interesting. I almost wonder if he resigned. Well, obviously, I mean, you have Merrick Garland as the AG right now, but I almost my Trump card came through, so I don't know if it was some kind of deal with Trump or to get some kind of favoring with Trump, um, being somewhat dissatisfied with maybe where things were going. But it's all about like getting that control and building himself up, building a foundation. And it's crossed with the devil here. I almost wonder if he made some kind of deal with Trump. Like Trump said that um, maybe he'd be his AG or something like that. Like we all know how these Republicans and Trumps are. I mean, he didn't really come out and stand up for Trump from what I saw today, but or wouldn't really comment to compare, both cases, which aren't even close to being the same situation. Trump stole documents. He evaded attempts to return it. Took documents after they before they came in and looked at it. Was destroying evidence like the security cameras. Joe Biden cooperated fully, and I said it before, and I still feel the documents for Biden were a result of staffing, his staff not really paying attention to what they were packing away and just being kind of quick and not being very thorough. Yeah, political ambitions, sweetie darling Lulu, absolutely. Karen. All right. Yes, I was talking about her. Yeah, that's right. Her resigned just as you released the report. Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah, and I did hear today that I think Biden was sending $300 million worth of weapons to Ukraine. I told you a lot of our allies across the world would be sending money and resources, but Biden was going to do what he could um, in the meantime to try to help out. I know it's nothing like he wants the aid that he wants to send to Ukraine, but I said I still see it going through. Um, I always forget what the procedure is, and somebody in the chat always tells me. But the committees, I think, can kind of go around the speaker and bring a vote to the floor, and I see it getting through that way. As a discharge petition. Discharge resolution. Thank you. Yeah, her got his 5 minutes of fame. I agree. Do I see the slime of Lindsey Graham ever disappearing? I do feel when I tap into his energy, I don't think he has a very long political career left ahead of him. And it kind of feels like he ends up leaving in a really dark place. Like there's a shame around Lindsey Graham, rightfully so. But when I tap into his future, I just kind of I visualize like him sitting in a dark room, alcohol bottles kind of scattered all over him. Just there's a disappointment there. That he didn't stand up for what was right and there's shame there for him. But I do see his political career ending not too far out in the future. I almost wonder if a lot of the rumors and things that people have on him are exposed, and so he kind of has to like crawl into a hole. It's kind of what I see for Lindsay. Oh, is EG and Carol going to sue again? I do feel she'll sue again. I saw it on the news the other day, and got it. Oh yeah, she's suing again, and she might be waiting just a little bit. I think she's definitely talking to her lawyers, but I do see her suing again. I almost wonder too if this time, if I don't know what the kind of order would be, if it's, you can have like a restraining order or something like that so that people can't speak about you or defame you. I almost wonder if there's going to be something like that she puts in, but I do see her suing them again. Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much, Firefly. So generous of you. Thank you. Oh, I'm sure the MAGA Congress will be upset about the Ukraine aid. Absolutely. We know who a lot of these MAGA Republicans get their order and money from. Oh, I could see it. Butterfly wings for entertainment purposes only. I see something this or next month for Trump, like winding up in the hospital. Yeah, I could see it. I've always said he's got some major health issues. I don't know if it. Well, I could maybe April. April's going to be huge. March is too, though. It feels more towards the end of the month. Excuse me. Yes, Ian, I agree. I'm not posting it up there, but I agree. It's not funny, but all right. Julian says, will the Republicans try to rig the election in November? Well, they're certainly going to try. I don't see them being successful with that. And I do almost feel like there is energy around Congress certifying the election again, but I see it being certified eventually. But definitely there's plans to try to stop people from voting, you know, all of that. I see it being a bit chaotic after the election, but we'll get through it. All right. Thank you, Yolanda. I don't see Liz Cheney running on a 2024 ticket, Mimi. No. I almost feel like it might be 2028. But I do see her running for president. I don't think it's 2024. I got a very strong feeling she would not do anything to attempt to take votes away from Biden, although I don't think a lot of Democrats would vote for her. But anything to help get Trump reelected, she would not put herself in that position. Oh yeah, Katie Britt. Yeah, she did an awful job. Is she anybody in the chat let me know. Is this her first term as a senator? She did horrible. I was waiting while she was speaking for oh, what's her name? It reminded me of one of those animal abuse commercials where in the arms of an angel. Sarah McLachlan. I was waiting for a Sarah McLachlan song to start playing while she was talking. It was awful. I don't feel like I don't see a big political career for Katie Britt. I think she just really screwed up a lot of her chances. All right. Oh, thank you so much, Tropex. All right. First term, yeah. Yeah, she was awful. And then lying and making up a story about somebody that was sex trafficked, made it seem like it was under Joe Biden's, under his presidency, and it happened like under George Bush. All right, Katie Britt, what's your future? Oh, wow. Her and others, they're like bound and chained and trapped. They're very restricted going forward. So I think she probably cut off a lot of opportunities there. Um, I didn't see Trump picking her as a VP, but um, it's like her and others are exposed for their group work. Could be dark money. You know, she might push on for a little bit, but I don't see there's loss. There's loss, walking away, feeling stuck and at a crossroads. Yeah, I don't think she has and maybe she, I don't know when her term's up, but maybe she gets in for one more. But oh, I didn't see SNL skit. I'll check that out. No, I don't think Trump will make his VP pick this month, Jade. I'm almost feeling May. I don't know if that's usually when they pick their VP picks. Yeah, I will check it out. Oh, was it Scarlett Johansson? Yeah, I think I did see part of it. I'll have to rewatch it, though. Yeah, that's right. It was Scarlett Johansson. All right, you guys. Oh, interesting. Earth Mama says the Uvalde chief of police just abruptly resigned. I have felt someone is hiding a huge secret down there. What do your guides say? Absolutely. Absolutely. He should have resigned after the school shooting. And I believe I said that he would resign when it happened. I just want you all to know that I feel a big shift in Texas of a lot of this corruption and, you know, for this individual, but also for the governor. And I think Ken Paxton's trial comes up soon. I think it's in April. But I feel like a lot of the slime and corruption in Texas is going to be exposed here sooner rather than later. It's not a coincidence that this huge solar eclipse goes right up through Texas. I think we're going to know about it, though. I feel like it's almost like trying to do damage control before the huge storm hits. You know, run away from the fire coming in. Ooh, the tower. First card out, tower. This is huge. Because he's a fool. He was very foolish. And because of his inaction. Yeah, Page of Swords. Information is being revealed. Oh, wow. Wheel of Fortune. So things are turning for him. And there's a lot of communications, momentum building up for the Uvalde chief of police. And then loss coming in. Could even be an abuse of power here, too. Yeah, something huge is about to hit there. Yeah, I read on Ken Buck, the rep from Colorado, already. I felt like he had other opportunities coming in. And somebody asked if he'd be with Liz Cheney on rebuilding the Republican Party, and I got a strong yes for that. All right. Mountain Dancer said she was going to ask about the eclipse energies. Can I feel it now? I did a couple weeks ago. I definitely felt a shift. I just felt super drained. I was not sleeping well, even having not very good dreams, like dark dreams, which isn't like me at all. I'm feeling a little bit better right now, but I do think it was part of the eclipse energy. The last full moon was really heavy too. But for me, it feels like things really start to ramp up towards the end of this month. April and May feel huge too. So yeah, you can ask a question, Dan. I'm trying my best to get to everybody, but all right. Oh yeah, churches will eventually be taxed if they show political bias. Butterfly wings. I see Ken Buck and Liz Cheney rebuilding the Republican Party. Gloria. Now, this is a good one. Let's look at this. Will 45 be able to delay March 25th trial with Bragg claiming immunity? 45 has delayed all cases. I'm doubting any before the election. Well, don't think like that, Marie. I know it's frustrating at points, but actually, I'm going to use the pendulum. I feel like it will happen on March 25th. I don't think the judge is going to allow a delay. All right. The New York case start on March 25th, 2024. The New York case against Trump start on March 25th, 2024. Pendulum saying a big old yes. Yeah, I don't see delay there. We got to stay positive, you guys. I know it's frustrating, but let's keep the faith. Keep the faith. I keep telling you guys we have to stay grounded and stay positive. And Kimmy says her dreams have been crazy the last few nights. Yeah, well, maybe we're starting to get back into the eclipse shift. Yeah, Judge Cannon will be removed. I actually feel like sooner rather than later, maybe within the next couple months, her being removed. Jack Smith is going to be ready to act on all of her corruption and her bias towards Trump. What is it? The circuit appeals. I see him going back to the 11th Circuit, and I see them removing her. I've always felt a man taking her place in that case. That case is probably it's not going to happen before the election, but maybe it will start, but I don't see it finishing. All right. Unique says, how long will it take to certify the 2024 election? Are you talking about when they go into Congress like the last year? Um, I mean, end up getting done the same day, or are you talking about how long will it take before the president is announced winner from voting? I feel like I do feel like we'll have a good idea that it will be Joe Biden that night, but I don't know if the counting will all be done where they decisively call him the winner on uh on the election night. But I see them getting the election certified. Like I said, I feel like the Republicans will try to make a stink about it again, but I see it getting through. But I think the way that we're going to see the result coming in, I think it's going to be pretty clear that Joe Biden's the winner election night. Judge McAfee expected to rule on Fani by Friday. How will it go? I've told you guys I don't see Fani being taken off the case. I do feel like he might be a bit hard on her. Like I feel like there's a little bit of a like a slap on the wrist. Like what she did was not the most proper, something along the lines of that. But I don't see him taking her off the case. I hear you, Giselle. I think it's going to be a very good night for Joe Biden and Democrats. But our elections are always close, unfortunately. I mean, whoever wins the presidency normally only wins by a couple percentage points. I think it's going to be not as close this election, but like I said, I feel like Democrats do very good, especially with their Senate that they have to defend. But I don't know. I don't see like Joe Biden winning by 60% and Donald Trump by 40. I think it'll be closer than that. If Trump's even on the ballot still, I'm very skeptical if that's going to even be the case. Thank you so much, Jay Roberts. Blessings. Thank you all for the donations. I really appreciate it. All right, Judge McAfee, how are you going to rule on Fani Willis this week? Ooh. I think she'll be okay, but the energy is a little weird because she's got security in the house. And she's coming in as a strong prosecutor. But I do get that there is a little bit of the moon, which is trying to keep things in the dark, and the Seven of Swords crossing, which can be like the thief in the night, trying to be sneaky, all of that. So there might be something at play here, because my final outcome, I do have the Five of Wands, which is like there's a tug of war, there's a back and forth. And I almost wonder does anybody know if he's agreed to allow the defense to put in new evidence or something like that? Because I don't know if it's all resounded by this Friday, because it feels like there's a little bit more to kind of pull on. But in the end, justice is her final outcome, Two of Cups. So it's like the partnerships and agreements. So I feel like she'll be okay, but I do feel like there's something feels a little bit amuck there. I don't get the bad feeling like the judge is like a Republican operative. I'm not feeling that, but I almost wonder if he doesn't want to come across as biased or wants the defense to be able to share their case. Although, like I said, I don't feel him actually removing Fani either. There's something that feels a little bit off there, but I don't see her being removed. Oh, Jeffrey says even Marianne from Revealing Light doesn't see Trump after July. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've heard other readers say that too. He's a new judge, no experience. Yeah. Yeah, that could be. I don't get like he has a bad character though. If I felt that way, if I felt like he was canon, I would say, you know, he's bought and paid for, but I don't feel that way for him. But maybe it's his inexperience. I do get that part of him though is kind of getting tired with he wants to move on from it. But I do feel like maybe he'll entertain maybe new defense, so maybe it's not completely closed by this Friday. Um, but I don't know. I don't see her being taken off the case. All right. Oh, almost 800 watching. Thank you all so much for being here. Please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe. All that good stuff. All right. I'm not going to do a deep dive on this because I've already shared my prediction on it, but I'll ask the pendulum. Is Biden going to shut down the border with executive action? I do feel, and actually it feels like it's sooner rather than later, maybe even in April, um, Biden using some executive action on the border. I don't feel like it's a total shutdown of the border, but I do get that he is going to come across a little bit more strong on the border. All right. Will Joe Biden shut down the border with executive action? I'm getting like the very littlest yes. So like I said, I do feel like he may have to, but I don't think he's not going all crazy, or obviously he's not separating um, parents and children at the border or anything crazy like that. But I do feel like he comes in a little bit more hot on the border. Like I said, it might be even April. And I did hear that I did see on the news that Laura Trump got into the RNC, which I said that she would. Like I said, let her be in there. Let's take all the money from all the Republicans and give it all to Trump for his legal bills. Um, they're not going to have any money for the election, while Democrats rake in all this money. Seems like a win-win for Democrats there. Oh, you're all sweet. Thank you. All right, let's look some more questions. All right. J Mart. Hi, Kevin. Are Republicans who aren't Trumplicans going to choose not to vote for president rather than Biden or Trump? I do think that there'll be quite a few that kind of don't vote. But I almost feel like, and I've said this before, maybe something happens to Trump. The MAGA people are all pissed off and writing in Trump's name on the ballot. Or like he's not all there to be on the ballot. So the Republicans put in somebody else, and then the MAGAs are all pissed off that they think that Trump's being hidden from the public, and so they write his name in, because I do feel like part of the Republican ticket is divided there. But I do think that there'll be some. I think some will vote for Biden. I think some will vote for Trump, and I think that there'll be some that don't vote at all. It feels like it's actually kind of a good chunk each way. Mm. Yeah, I do feel like there's a write-in or something. It feels really weird to me. Maybe it'll become clearer as we get closer to the election, but like all I can pick up on is chaos. The Republican Party is divided. Like I said, I almost feel like Trump isn't around because of the health, or if he has a massive stroke or something and isn't all there, and they try to put somebody else in. And I mean, these crazy MAGA people, think that was JFK still alive? They would definitely still try to vote for him and write him in. Yeah, it could pass on too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I saw that, Karen. I saw the beginning of the House hearing where Nadler played all of Trump, and all of his speeches were, you know, the dementia is definitely apparent. Of course, Republicans don't want to pay any attention to that. If they really cared about justice and were really concerned of Joe Biden and his documents, they would be calling Trump and Jack Smith up there um, with that same outrage. So I don't know. It's all a show. It's all to try to find something to smear Biden and Democrats. I mean, that's always their game plan. All right. Renee wants to know, is DeJoy going to play games with mail-in ballots this election? I've always felt that he will be out, and I've said it a long time ago, and he's still in there, which is very frustrating. He's one that's hard for me to read, but I almost feel like there's too many eyes on him. He would not be able to do what he did in 2020. Like I feel like he's actively being watched. I personally haven't had any problems with my mail. I know a lot of you guys have said that you have. But no, I don't think that he's going to be able to play games with the mail-in ballots. I'll throw some cards on it, but yes, Janice. First thing I read on today was about Ken Buck, so you have to catch the replay. All right, is DeJoy going to play games with the mail-in ballots this election? It's interesting. I see him leaving still, you guys. Eight of Cups is just like walking away from the things that aren't serving you. He's the Fool, which is like a new beginning, new adventure crossed by the Wheel of Fortune. So it's like time's running up for him. And he has to retreat. I mean, the Four Swords can be like a jail card too, which I do feel like big investigations into him into the future. Because I think he's benefited his own pocket because of deals that he's made and probably being in that position. I do get like a bit of the tug of war gun and trying to hide things, but the government's watching him. The government's on top of it. So I don't feel he'll be successful with it. Maybe he even resigns or they force him out because they can tell that maybe he tries to do something before the election and they kick his ass out of there. I don't know. I see him leaving still, though. Yeah, he should have been removed 4 years ago. I agree. I understand that mail-in ballot is necessary for a lot of people. I've said it in the past elections. I just feel safer early voting or going in person to vote. But like I said, I know that that's not an option for everybody. And also, I don't live in a big state where they put one voting place for a huge city. So people are waiting in lines for hours and hours and hours. So. Jamie, how is tarot cards different than asking with the pendulum? I like to feel into the energy and use the pendulum more so to, the pendulum's good with yes or no questions, but I like to use my intuition and see if the pendulum's validating what I'm picking up. Tarot cards, I think, paint and tell more of the story. Sometimes you get a little bit more information with it, but I know some people that use pendulums and give really good readings with them too, I guess if you're really tapped in and you're asking it a lot of questions to get clarity on it. But I like to use both. I mean, obviously, I'm more of a card reader, but for something quick or just a yes or a no, or just to validate that my intuition's right, I like to use the pendulum. Yes, the election will be certified January 2025, Linda. Don't worry, it will be certified. Yeah, I know that some states are only mail-in. Yeah, but that's why I said I know it's not for everybody, and a lot of elderly people that have a lot of health issues can't really be out for hours and hours. I mean, I get it. I'm just saying, I think if you're able to, or if your state allows it, I personally like early voting, but I mean, you do you. Yeah, and Republicans use mail-in votes too. Absolutely. Oh, Ken Paxton will be accountable for his crimes. Absolutely, Terry. I feel some jail time for him, and I think I think some of his court cases start. I think in April or May. Like I said, I feel like a lot of things being exposed in Texas between now and the election, and I actually feel like it's going to be pretty close. Um, and even Ted Cruz very well might lose his seat. I feel like Colin Allred has a very good chance of winning that seat. Oh, nothing's gonna. There's not going to be anything that results out of the sham hearing today. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that Republicans are desperate. Like I said, trying for anything to stick, anything to attack Biden or his family about, or make him look corrupt. I mean, it's the same thing over. I mean, none of us forget Hillary Clinton and Benghazi or her damn emails. Um, I mean, they've played this book over and over again, but I don't see. I think it's pretty obvious too for most of the American people. I mean, they question his age and if he's all there mentally. But I think if you watch the State of the Union last week, I think it's pretty clear that I mean, sure, he's old and he's not always the most quickest, um, but I think he did a very good job at being able to um, share his vision for the country and what he wants to do, and actually speak very, very well. So I don't see anything becoming as a result from it. The Republicans will try anything, but all right. Oh, thank you, Giselle. Very sweet. I appreciate that. Oh, this I hadn't heard of this. Sandra says Biden slash Pentagon found money errors in previous Ukraine aid, allowing another 300 million to help. Will this happen and help Ukraine? I did hear today that Biden was sending. I thought it was equipment, military equipment, rather than money. But absolutely, and like I said, I do see Ukraine funding being passed. They have to do that discharge resolution or petition or whatever it's called, but I see it getting passed. Oh, interesting. I like Dan's question. What month in the election campaign do you feel Trump really flailing and falling and going down? Well, I think he's already, if you've listened to his speeches. All right. April? I almost feel like April and August, both A months. Something big is happening very soon. April and August, that's what I'm picking up, Dan. Maybe between April and August, too. Yes, make sure that you're still registered to vote. Oh, wow. Blue says I was kicked off the registry 3 times here in Arizona, and I heard that happening in Texas. Yeah, and even here in Ohio before the abortion voting, last year, I heard that they purged a bunch of voters off. Yeah, make sure that you're registered to vote. That's so important. Thank you so much, Blue, for saying that. I don't know when Governor Abbott's term is up, Claudina, but, I do feel he will have to resign. I've always felt like it's a little bit tougher in Florida for longer. Like, I don't personally feel DeSantis resigning early, or if he does, it's shortly before his term's up. I do feel Abbott leaving sooner rather than later. I don't know if it's this year or next year, but I know it's not easy. I know there's a lot going on. We all have PTSD from Trump and all the Trump years. Like I said, if you're starting to feel overwhelmed, just breathe to the present, let go of all the fears, ground yourself, focus on things that are uplifting for you, that lift you up, that bring you joy, and just do your best to just try to stay in that light space. I know it's not easy, but it's so important, I think, too, because what we see, we attract. So if we're in a place, or what we feel as well. So if we're feeling all this worry and anxiety, we're just going to continue to sit in that state of resistance where we're amplifying more things to make us fearful or anxious. So it's so important just to do things to distract ourselves, or, like I said, raise our vibrational energy. If you feel like the news is bringing you down, take a break from the news. Just when you feel like you're starting to spiral into that worry, you know, do something to lift yourself up and distract yourself. Oh, this is a good question. Will 45 ever acknowledge 45's cognitive decline? Weirdly enough, I am feeling like a yes and a no to that question. So maybe there are some on Fox that acknowledge it, and a lot of people that just, you know, pull away from it, don't talk about it, don't look over here. But I do feel like there'll be some even in Fox News that acknowledge his cognitive decline. That's interesting. I don't see Thomas or Alito having communication with Cannon, Shanahan. It's not resonating at all to me. Do I think Trump has had people talk behind the scenes and share his messages or what he wants to Cannon? Absolutely. But I'm not picking up it being Thomas, Alito, or anybody from the Supreme Court. Yes, Taylor Swift will endorse Joe Biden. Absolutely. No, I already read on this, Daryl. I don't see Trump being able to delay the New York case. I don't know what the Pentagon said about you covering up UFOs or reverse engineering, but absolutely they were in on it, trying to cover it up and not talk about it. Um, and I do believe that they took some spacecraft and reverse engineered. Absolutely. I mean, even if you look at some of our modern day warplanes and all of that, they even have like a sleek like UFO design to them. So I don't know what the Pentagon actually acknowledged on that, but absolutely they covered stuff up. I see Ohio being closer, but I think it might lean Republican in 2024, Sharon. But I think Sherrod Brown, our senator, is going to win re-election, who's a Democrat. So um, I think Trump took Ohio in 2020, I think by like 8 points. Maybe it was more than that. I think 8 or 9 points. I think it being closer to 2 or 3 this election is what I'm feeling. So we'll get a little bit more towards the center. All right. Thank you. Please hit the like. Thank you, Jamie Johnson. Oh, interesting. The judge in New York is angry because they try to file the motion to delay past the deadline. Yeah, I don't see him going with it. We all know that that's what Trump and his lawyers do, though. Anything to delay, right? I haven't read on Kate Middleton today, Heather. I don't know if you have a specific question with her. For entertainment purposes only, I did feel like that whistleblower from Boeing, that there was an inside job there. Did not have a good feeling. Something feels very suspicious with that. Just putting it out there. I don't want to do a deep dive on that, but yeah, the stealth bombers, absolutely Mountain Dancer. All right. I feel like Kate Middleton, I've read on her before. I feel like she'll be okay. She definitely is going through a hard time, I think, with her recovery. And I think just energetically, it feels like she's almost in in a bad emotional state too. I don't know if it has to do with maybe her not getting the support that she needs, but she's definitely struggling right now. But I did feel like I think the last time I read on her, the star was her final outcome, which is a bright future. But I'll throw a couple cards on it. I don't want to do too much. We're almost at the hour mark too. No, I don't feel Kate and William divorcing, Sharon. All right. I try to get to as many questions as possible. I do like that I was trying to keep up more with the chat than kind of going back and forth. I feel like I was doing a little bit better with it today, but all right, Kate Middleton. Yeah, she's got some challenges and burdens here still. I think she'll be okay in the end, though. She's got security and safety here, but it is kind of Five of Wands, feeling a bit stuck at a crossroads, a bit of tug of war. So I almost wonder if her and William are fighting a little bit. I mean, Five of Wands is more like verbal fighting. There's not a lot of action involved. Um, but I think the kids are really helping getting her through this hard time. Yeah, she's got some stresses and burdens here. But I mean, she's got security, and it's a bit of like the waiting game. Three of Wands. So doing all that you can, waiting for your ship to come in, waiting for all of your hard work to be rewarded. So I think she'll pull through it. I know others have not felt that way, but I do think she'll pull through it. All right. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to end there for today. But just want to thank you all so much for joining me. Now, again, I did say I did hit 12,000 subscribers. So every 1,000 subscribers, I do a free giveaway for a free reading and a free Reiki session. So how you enter is when I'm done with this video and it posts, write in the comments, starting with the word Reiki or reading, depending on which drawing you'd like to be included in or giveaway. Um, so reading or Reiki, and I probably won't pull the winner next week. It will probably be the following week. So 2 weeks. So it gives a lot of people, and I'll make the announcement to make sure to comment on this video, but gives everybody more time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be on next Tuesday. I have a doctor's appointment at, I think, 2 o'clock. So depending on what time I'm done with all of that, if I'm able to, maybe I'll come on later, um, yeah, so and again, next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our members live stream. I'll be answering many personals, and I also once a month pull um, a, 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 a member for a free reading or a free Reiki session. So I do giveaways for my members too, and I'll be doing that on Monday. Besides that, if you'd like a reading or a Reiki session with me, send me an email at kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com, and we can get something set up. All right, everyone, I'm sending you all a lot of love and blessings, and I will see you all really soon. You all take care. All right, bye-bye.